Welcome to my views and news complete situation report from Sudan, where clashes, airstrikes being reported, both sides accusing each other. Today was day 5 of the 7-day ceasefire announced and put into place on Monday. So what happened in the last 24 hours? Details for you from Khartoum Central, Bahri and Darfur too. Secondly, general mobilization has been ordered in Sudan by Sudanese Ministry of Defense. And thirdly, a doctor who is member of Central Committee of FFC, Forces for Freedom and Change, has been arrested by Sudanese army. And lastly, viewers, Al-Burhan, Abdul Fattah Al-Burhan, Sudanese army chief, wants UN envoy to Sudan to be changed. Volker Perthes is the representative of UN Secretary General in Sudan, head of UN mission in Sudan. Al-Burhan has written a letter to UN Secretary General for replacement of Volker Perthes. Firstly, viewers, what is on the ground situation? Any fighting on Saturday or the ceasefire remained in place? Well, airstrikes were conducted today in Khartoum. And locals have confirmed these airstrikes. So violation, because use of aircrafts for airstrikes, etc., is violation of ceasefire. And obviously, it's only Sudanese military which has aircrafts. RSF don't have any aircrafts. Airstrikes were conducted today. Secondly, clashes are also happening near engineering core, which I reported, which I shared details about in yesterday's video. Near engineering core, clashes happened between Sudanese army and rapid support forces near Al-Rimaila. Al-Rimaila cemetery is the place close to which there was heavy fighting between rapid support forces and Sudanese army. Sudanese army in control of engineering corps, which is in Al-Muhandasin, in Darman. RSF trying to move towards this engineering corps of Sudanese army mainly from western side, but the engineering corps is still under the control of Sudanese army. Clashes happened there. We have a clip for you showing rapid support forces operating a tank in the vicinity of engineering corps. RSF fighters, they know how to operate tanks, and they have captured some tanks in the past few days. We've seen several video pictures. Secondly, clashes in Jabra South, to the south in southern area of Khartoum Central. Thirdly, Al-Fashir, day 3 of clashes. On Thursday night, clashes started between rapid support forces and Sudanese army in Al-Fashir, where there was a ceasefire mediated by locals in place for several days. But the ceasefire was breached. It collapsed on Thursday night, and since then we're seeing clashes. Large number of people has been displaced towards southern side of Al-Fashir. Clashes ongoing in Al-Fashir today. And large-scale displacements from Al-Fashir, Al-Janina, especially from Al-Janina towards Chad. 90,000 Sudanese have entered Chad so far from Darfur. Darfur shares border with Chad. And those who are arriving in Chad are telling heartbreaking stories of what is happening in Al-Janina. Al-Janina, West Darfur, where we have been reporting about clashes since the start of this war. City has been devastated. No power, no water, no communications, nothing to eat. People dying, so they want to flee Al-Janina. And Violence in Al Jalina is ethnic in nature. Arab fighters are entering the Al Jalina city and looting properties, destroying properties, setting properties on fire. People fleeing towards Chad. We could not confirm any fighting today in Al Janina, but displacements are being reported to Chad from Al Janina. So we can sum up that airstrikes were conducted today, clashes in Al Fashir, in Rahman, in Khartoum Center. Clip for you showing rapid support forces operating a tank in the vicinity of engineering corps near Al Muhandaseen in Rahman. Watch the clip, then 3 more news stories from Sudan.
مبروك 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 الله اكبر الله اكبر 24 5 الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر مبروك مبروك الله مبروك 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 الله اكبر مبروك.
Second was rapid support forces today accused Sudanese army that some hospitals are being used as military for military purposes by Sudanese army. RSF named some hospitals like Al Muallim Hospital in Khartoum, Al Amal Hospital in Bahri, and RSF claims that a convoy of Doctors Without Borders organization was looted by Sudanese army soldiers. Shipment of medicines was looted. Sudanese army is denying. Both sides are accusing each other. Meanwhile, general mobilization has been ordered in Sudan. Sudanese defense minister is Yassin Ibrahim, I think. On Friday, he called on all reservists to go to nearby military camps and arm themselves. Not only reservists, but civilians too, who are capable of carrying arms, using arms. They know how to handle arms. They are being told by Sudan Ministry of Defense to arm themselves, to protect themselves. Now, this call from Sudanese Ministry of Defense came during the so-called ceasefire. So you can imagine the effectiveness of the ceasefire. There is no ceasefire basically because Defense Minister is asking people to go to military camps to get arms. So it means there is no ceasefire there. And it shows that Sudanese military is preparing for a long war. Just like rapid support forces are preparing for a long war. Both sides are not committed to the implementation of ceasefire. As I said yesterday, day before yesterday, they are just beefing up their defensive positions. They are receiving reinforcements for offensive operations. They are trying to get leverage in the battlefield, accusing each other. That's what is happening in Sudan. Meanwhile, FFC Forces for Freedom and Change are in trouble. Doctors of FFC are working in some cases with rapid support forces to provide medical aid to the people of Sudan. FFC is neutral. They are not backing any of the two parties in this conflict. Sudanese army wants FFC to be behind to support Sudanese army's narrative. FFC consists of resistance committees too. We know that FFC played a key role. Resistance committees played a key role in the overthrowing of Umar al-Bashir. They launched street movement against al-Burhan too, when al-Burhan staged a coup in 2021 against the Prime Minister back then, Abdullah Hamdok. And FFC is very organized, special justice committees. Military wants FFC to back military. FFC largely neutral. A doctor who is a spokesperson of professional association and member of a central committee of FFC has been arrested. His name is Dr. Alauddin. He was arrested in Khartoum today. Rapid Support Forces condemned his arrest. Who arrested him? It means Sudanese army arrested him. What is the crime committed by Dr. Alauddin? Doctors have to work with Rapid Support Forces sometimes because RSF in control of territories in Khartoum. There are hospitals there. Doctors have to be in coordination with Rapid Support Forces to provide healthcare facilities to the people of Khartoum. But military is not happy with FFC doctor arrested. And lastly, viewers, Volker Perthes is head of UN mission in Sudan, which is monitoring this transition to democracy, transition to election. No, we don't know when election will be held in Sudan. Volker Perthes working in Sudan for months. Al-Burhan wants Volker Perthes to be removed. He wants someone to be appointed in his place. So Abdul Burhan has written a letter to Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General. In the letter, Al-Burhan asked Antonio Guterres to replace Volker Perthes. Reportedly, UN Secretary General refused to remove Volker Perthes. Why does Burhan want to remove Volker Perthes? Is it because Burhan believes that Volker Perthes is supporting Rapid Support Forces, or that he is not supporting Sudanese military? Whatever the reason is, but Burhan has communicated in black and white to Antonio Guterres to change, to transfer, to remove Volker Perthes, but so far Volker Perthes has not been removed from Sudan reportedly. Thank you for watching.